Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Before I start my presentation, I will introduce myself. My name is Ajeng Putri Tarida. My NPM is 19220077. My presentation is about research proposal by Arif Ridiawan with the title is Improving Students' Writing Skill by Using Recitation Method at 10th Grade State Senior High School in Bandung. Okay, the first is background of research. The background of research from this proposal is English language is one of foreign language. It becomes very important in education aspect because English language including the several language lesson in our country. In writing, students have to know about grammar, vocabulary, sentence structure, sentence sequence, and sentence connection. Sometimes the student could speak English fluently, but they did not definitely understand in writing or making essay. But in fact, most Indonesian students could not learn English well, especially in writing. It is usually indicated when they write paper or thesis in English. Many students make mistake when they write essay. Not all students had some ability in pouring the ideas when they write essay. It is because they do not have interest in studying writing skill. The researcher found some problems related to the instructional activities at the school. These problems are that the students have low writing ability and the students have low motivation in learning, and the teacher still use monotone and inappropriate teaching technique. So probably it was caused by student uninterest in lesson because there is not variation in English in teaching English from teacher. The teacher should implement an appropriate method to improve students' ability. One way to improve that, the researcher would like to using recitation method in senior high school. The researcher is interested to do research entitled Improving Students' Writing Skill by Using Recitation Method to 10th grade, the state senior high school in Bandung. Next is point B, the identification of the problem. Problem to be addressed in this research is how can be obtained by using recitation method in learning to improve student writing skill to 10th grade, the state senior high school. Next is point C, delimitation of the problem. In order to be more effective, efficient, and focused to the research of the problems, namely application recitation method in teaching writing to improve writing skill at 10th grade of the state senior high school academic year 2014 and 15. Next is point E, the purpose and significance of research. The result of this research is expected to give contribution to teacher, student, and other researcher. There are, for the writer, by using this method, perhaps the researcher will get one solution to evaluate. For the teacher can evaluate clearly what the result of teaching English language use the recitation method. And less for the student, this research is present in increase student interest in learning English language with enjoyable and can be used to broaden and develop. Next is chapter 3, design of research. This research uses classroom action research. The researcher used a collaborative action research in which the researcher and one of other English teacher conducted the research. In this case, the researcher and collaborative teacher become a teamwork who work together for solving the problem in teaching speaking. And the researcher in this as the teacher to teach in classroom to apply this strategy, and the English teacher. Next is point B on chapter 3, types and source of data. The type of data is taken in classroom. Action research are follow qualitative data about activities of student and the teacher in the classroom. B. Quantitative data about students' learning outcomes in the end of each cycle. Number 2 is source of data. Source is data in the study consisted of several sources. They are the headmaster, teacher and students, situation and condition, and document of the state senior high school. Point C, setting and subject of research. Setting of research is classroom action research was conducted at the state senior high school. Subject at class 10, academic year 2014 and 15. Number 2, subject of research. The subject of research are students class or grade 10 at the state senior high school, consists of 40 students. Next is point D, research procedure. The procedure of this classroom action research is adapted from Kemi and Miss Tegart. This type of research comprises 4 stages. Follow procedure by preliminary study, planning the action, implementing the action, and reflecting the action. First, planning the action in relation of the application of collaborative action research. The researcher and the collaborator had prepare the implementation of the section based on the result of preliminary. Number 2 is implementing the action. After completing all prepared in planning, the researcher come to the phase implementing the action. They are followed with A. Teachers use scenario that will be performed. B. Teacher motivated the student. C. Teacher give a clear instructional goal of lesson. D. Teacher explain the meaning of the questioning the author's strategy. E. Teacher give exercise to the students. Number 3, observing the action. In this classroom, the collaborator observe and monitor the implementation of the action directly to observe the student's response and interaction on learning process from first to the end. Number 4, reflection. This phase is intended to consider a whole action that has been done. According to the data collected afterward, being done evaluation in order improve on the next action. Steps that done by teacher are A. Analyze student activity when learning process by using instrument of observation. B. Analyze response and result of study. C. Analyze recitation method that use or not. D. Determine the next step or way to upgrade the result of this action. Next is point E, technique and instrument of collecting data. Based on the activities done for action research, the researcher will collect the data from test, questionnaire, and observation checklist. The questionnaire is the number of written questions to obtain information from respondents in terms of personal reports about or that he knew. Number 2, observation checklist. The data will be collected by using observation. And number 3 is test. In this research, the test is asking the student to write and writing about descriptive text. Next is point F, data analysis. The stage of interactive analysis applied in this research are data reduction, data display, and conclusion. Each of the stages is presented in the following. 1. Data reduction. Data reduction is a stage of summarizing, classifying, and focusing on essential things. In this stage, the researcher needs to separate the accurate data from the inaccurate ones. Through the data reduction, the research may focus on the data that will be analyzed. Number 2 is data display. Data display is a stage of organizing the data into pattern of relationship. The data display can make the collected data easier to be understood. In this stage, the researcher presents the narrative text. And number 3, conclusion. In this stage, the researcher makes a conclusion. The conclusion can be in a form of thick description. The conclusion is the answer of the research problem that has been formulated. So that's my presentation about research proposal by Arif Ridiawan. Thank you for attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.